Ox 3-0 in the UFC, man. I mean, impressive run. I got to think, 15 months ago, you were here in the same building getting ready for a Contender Series fight. Did you see this happening? I mean, did you think you could have this much success in this short of a time?
Not really. For one, I never thought I was going to fight in the UFC for a long time, I had a lot of fights outside. Never thought I was going to get the call. And now it's just like, man, all right, I'm on my fourth fight in the UFC. About to be a year from our first UFC fight. So, 4 fights within a year. That's pretty, for a small guy, that's pretty crazy. But, it happens.
What's the ride like for you along the way? I mean, as you keep taking these steps and keep racking up these wins, I mean, you said you didn't even think you'd be here. So is it, is it exciting? Is it surreal? Is it a little scary for you? What's the feeling like?
It's exciting, man. Like I said, I never thought I was gonna be here to have my fourth fight going to UFC. It's like, man, it's crazy. Exciting. Biggest thing for me is kind of having to slow down a little bit, kind of enjoy the moment. I'm kind of like not, I wouldn't say rushing, but like kind of just forget the little things, where instead I should be enjoying the little things that we do. So that's it, man. It's just crazy.
No doubt. Last time out, man, you looked phenomenal. The big win over Shorty Torres. Give me an idea. What was the key to that? Because that was an incredible win for you.
Nothing really. Go out there and have fun. That's what that's what my coach told me to do. Go out there, believe in your skills. Like if I didn't believe I didn't belong with the best guys in the world, then I shouldn't be fighting in the UFC. And I feel like I do.
Well, you're definitely proving that, right? Stepping in, Joseph Benavidez. About 3 weeks. Of course, he lost the fight, rescheduled. Give me an idea how this came together. When you saw him come up, did you put your name in the air? Did they call you? How did this fight come together?
So at first they asked me, do you want to fight Mark in Denver? And I said, yeah, why not? 35s? I can make 35s. Give me a couple days. That didn't go through for some reason. And then I actually one of my teammates, Chito Vera, actually tagged me in something saying Ray Borg was out, on Instagram and stuff. So I was like, okay. So then I text my manager. I was like, I'll fight him. He's like, you'll fight Benavidez in a day notice? I'm like, why not? So then they turned the fight didn't happen. It wasn't like they turned it down. I think it was just it just didn't work out. A day notice, kind of me fighting at 35. It just didn't work out. And then my manager just kept working, and then we got the fight here in Vegas. So I'm excited.
So I was impressed and thought it was a studly move of you to say you step in on 3 weeks. You were going to step in on a day in Denver, fighting in altitude, all that. You were going to do that?
Yeah, why not? I get paid to fight. I don't get paid to sit on the bench. What's the worst that can happen? I lose. I've lost before. It's not the first time I've lost. Not the last time I'm going to lose. If I did lose, so why not? Why not take the risk of doing it?
I dig it. Talk about fighting Benavidez. I mean, is it surreal almost? Is it going to be kind of crazy for you? Because as you said, 15 months ago you were here, on a Contender Series fight. Now, Joseph Benavidez has been around for a while. I got to think it's a guy that you've watched fight, that I don't want to say idolized, but maybe looked up to a little bit and say, I want to be where that guy's at. I mean, is this going to be a weird experience for you?
I don't think it's weird, but it's definitely crazy because I've watched him, since, I was in high school and I was watching this guy fight. I met him a couple times before I was in the UFC. I met him a couple times when I was in the UFC. He's a super good guy. He's fun to watch fight. He goes out there to throw, and that's what I like to do. So I'm excited.
He's going to be hungry, man. He had the layoff with the knee surgery, then he came back. He had the loss to Sergio. What did you see in that fight? Have you watched that fight? Did you watch it live? Have you broken down tape? Did you see that maybe he was off a little bit, that the layoff hurt him, or that the injury was still lingering? What did you break down from that?
I was there live, and it's hard to say. I just think Sergio was a better guy, and I just think, I think he was good. He looked good. He didn't look like, obviously, he didn't look like he missed too much time. He looked good. He lost a split decision. But I think it was just Sergio's night that night. Benavidez is tough, man. I always say it's whoever's better that night. It doesn't matter what your rank is, whatever it is, whatever people think of you. It's just whoever's better that night. And Sergio was the better guy that night,
Is this a fight that you thought about, kind of matched yourself up in your head? As you're watching this guy and you've met him and all these things, were you ever kind of squaring him up, being like, well, this is how I would take him on. This is how I think I could beat him.
Nah. Eventually I knew we would fight, just because in my head I'm going to fight everybody to get to where I want to be. I'm going to have to fight everybody in the top 15, everybody from my good friends to the people I don't know, to be a champion, and I'm willing to do that. It doesn't not matter to me. Like, if we're friends, we're friends, but we can have a beer after the fight. To me, it's a sport. It's a game. I want to win. I'm competitive. I want to win.
You said, a loss wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, you've had it happen before, and this is a top guy. But let's flip it around. A win. How great would that be? I mean, you beat a guy like Joseph Benavidez. People got to take you pretty seriously at that point, right?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I really don't care what people think of me. If I win, they love me, they hate me, they think, oh, it was a fluke, whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as I know what I did, as long as the win's on my record, that's all that matters to me.
It's got to be said, the future of the flyweight division seems up in the air. We don't know. What are you thinking right now? I mean, you mentioned you were willing to fight at 35. Are you starting to accept, hey, I'm going to have to go to 35 to continue? Are you hopeful that this flyweight division sticks around, even if there's only a handful of you guys? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much. I usually let my manager do that. I don't get paid to think too much, I get paid to fight, but it sucks one part just because a lot of people do this for full time, and getting cut does suck. From going to getting paid, what we get paid in the UFC to going back to the local circuit where you're not getting paid as much. It's a big hit, and that sucks. As of right now, I'm safe, and it's kind of selfish to say, but it's like, hey, I'm safe. Like, thank God I'm safe. It just sucks for the other people, man.
Yeah, no doubt. If it came down to it, I mean, 35, do you feel like, would it be maybe an advantage? I mean, most of you guys have pretty tough cuts down to 25. I don't know how bad yours is. I mean, is there any thought that, like, 35 wouldn't be bad? Maybe I could have a few more meals on fight week.
Oh, heck yeah. I can eat Korean barbecue at least twice a week instead of once, To me, it doesn't matter. It's not going to change my goal. If I go up to 35s, I'm going to do my thing. If I stay at 25s, I'm going to do my thing. My goal is to be the best, and I got to get there one way or the other.
Well, this would be a huge step in that direction, man. So give us how this thing plays out when you visualize it and you're mapping this thing out in your head. How do you see this fight going?
I think it's gonna go all 3 rounds, man. We both come forward. We both like to throw. We don't really go. We're not really known for our ground stuff. So I mean, hey, I'm looking at fight of the night, possibly making that extra money. But I see war. I see me winning. I just think I'm better everywhere.